Hello everyone and welcome to the Gulf Sniper. This is Talali with you, and I'm going to update the 22nd and 23rd of February 2021. As you see, I retrieved the data for the 2 days, and on the 22nd we were about to lose, and we achieved a profit of $249.60, while yesterday we made a loss of $3,046.20. Okay, if you can kindly freeze the screen to see the top gainers and top losers on the 22nd, and you notice that we had 10 trades and 10 trades winning out of 29 with a winning rate of 34.5%, while on yesterday we had 0 trades, but that's out of 10 trades only. And you can freeze the screen and see the most or the least profitable ones, actually, or the most losers. Okay, this is officially a break of our streak that was with us starting from the almost from the last week of January. So let us today celebrate the Reds. Let me take you through the backtest results to see really this break even is really achieved, or better than that actually should be, or we should be really scoring better than that. Again, with RETO, it came the first one. Maybe you noticed that yesterday's session was very, very boring, really. There were no such signals that the first signal is appearing here on the daily signals, on the live signals. So it was a very, very slowly moving really session with only 10 winning trades out of total of 26 trades only. So you notice that during the last week our trading number of opportunities are going down slowly, sharply, from the 60s and 80s all the way to 30s, and then 21, 24 and 29. The averages, as you noticed earlier in previous months, is on the 40s actually. Okay, let me take you quickly through the opportunities. RETO, we talked about it, was doing crazy movements from the aftermarkets on Friday until the beginning of yesterday's session, and then it gapped up by up to 160%. We were lucky to get a position earlier, and if you ignore all these and do not consider the pre-market and after hours, and you enter with this only, with that big momentum, I think you can easily get this 7%. So this trade by itself is enough for somebody to decide stopping, especially at this very, very challenging and tough market, which was from the beginning. Even the Dow Jones was red during the whole trading session. It has just lately during the trade changed its position to green. Okay, so that can be considered as an entry one. Everything was up on this candle, then it starts to go down. So from this signal you can just, everything was positive. It was going upper than all these, continuing its direction, upper direction. So this one was a confirmed entry. Let's see CNAF at this entry is not a correct one, so this should not be considered really. Moving to XELB, XELB at this candle should not be really considered. So this should not be considered as a winning trade. If you are entering after your gain and at your own risk, giving away 3% from your already gained 7%, you should be very cautious and you should be strict to your stop loss here. That you put your stop loss here, you see this one exceeding, appearing to you here, here, the signal is so early. But, and you see there is no other signals, there is no really, oh no, you see the momentum here. Maybe you can decide to enter at your own risk, again, at your own risk. If you are willing to give away 3% from your already gained 7% to push for your luck in this trade and see where do you stop. You have a room, you have a good room, you are already above the 2.5 and you are moving ahead towards the 3, so you are playing between the half and the whole figure. So maybe you can take this risk in this reddish market and see where you will really reach. Okay, so that's a winning trade. Next is SSY, and it is a winning one, and it had happened in 3 minutes only, in a clear movement upwards. So that's a clear confirmed one and very fast trade. Next, SNES was a losing one because the position here is clear that you should not really enter here. So that's not to be considered really. Next, ATIF. ATIF is appearing at this candle, and this is really not supposed to be considered as a winning one because of the position that it is coming at. Next, AEHR, coming at this area, and this is clear again that it is not supposed to be considered. Next, TGC, excellent and perfect, showing up and making profit, giving in 3 minutes 7%, equivalent to around $900, which is 10% of our trade, of our 10,000. This one is a clear confirmed losing trade, no question about it. CHNR is not supposed to be an entry with this turbulence and downtrend. Next, BYFC, confirmed entry, low float, low volume. So it's really up to the trader to decide really to enter this one, but it made profit in 20 minutes, 20 something, 22. That's a confirmed entry and profitable one. OXBR, low trading volume, but the entry is correct, and within 3 candles, 15 minutes, maybe you can lose before maybe you can lose, yes, but you don't really wait until you fall down to the 3%. Maybe you can lose only 1% or 1.5, 1.5. Okay, next is DPI, is a winning one in 3 hours. But if you in 2 candles or the third one, you can leave the trade, close the trade with a profit of 1.5. Excuse me. Next, UONEK made excellent movement. I was seeing it there. I was really busy with RETO and the opportunities that appeared in RETO. And this one is a winning one in 15 minutes, 1, 2, 3 successfully, and it made the highest in the day. Then it slowed down. There was some slowness in its movement. Next, NTN. Was supposed to be a winning one actually. Oh no, it came at 4.91, made its way to 4.24. The target was supposed to be just 4.25. So if you see yourself there already, you can just close at this at 4-5%. You don't need really to wait all the way till it loses everything. In this day, reddish day, Nasdaq 2.5% almost, and SPX at almost -1, Dow Jones at almost 0. If you see such an opportunity, immediately leave and go. You should actually be leaving earlier than that. So that's supposed to be really a winning one. It's not fair that really this is counted as a losing one, because it almost made it. Okay, next is GRP. GRP came at very late stage, low volume, but it is considered to be correct entry, late one, and as a result it has lost. So that's a confirmed losing trade. Next, IPDN and SDPI. Okay, look quite similar, close. So IPDN was supposed to be a win. The entry is correct, was supposed to be going in the right direction, but it did not. So it's a losing trade. Next, AMS is a losing one. Late entry, low volume, but it has lost. Next, CREX is a winning one. In 20 minutes. Forget about this buy signal. The buy signal is here with our entry. This is on the daily. That's another strategy, not our snapper trading. And see, it is a losing one actually, the very late entry. Okay. Next is after CREX we have, okay, sorry for that, INM again, supposed to be a winning one, but we should not really wait until we lose. So according to our strategy, if you enter here, then you give it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you should consider leaving really at this stage. Especially you broke already the 5, so you should be really leaving at the 5. So this one should not be really, this is an avoidable lose, really, avoidable loss. Okay, next, AWX is a losing one. And why is that? Because it came very late. The signal came at very late stage. You're far away from all your supports, really. I'll not speak about the volume. The volume is impacted clearly due to the market condition, but add to this factor actually is what had happened here. You are entering here at very late stage, and it is expected that you will go downwards, so that should not be really an entry. Next, PED. PED is a clear losing trade, so that's a confirmed loss. IHT is not supposed really to be entered. It is extremely low volatility, so I don't think that this is really, I think here if we go to it, it will be only a signal, not more than that, so there is no really motivation where is it? 1201. Don't want to mix up here and there, but yeah, I think, see, it's an orphan, only one signal and nothing else other than that, and your room is only 5 cents away from it. So I don't think that this is a good entry. When you see such a signal, usually you wait until it breaks at least 4, and this did not happen here. And add to it is that your target, your daily target, profit target, which is a resistance by itself also, is only at 4.09, 4.08. So that's another confirmation that this should not be really considered as an entry in the first place. ABIO is next, and it has done great movement actually. You can enter here. It is not that late, and see the type of the entries that we really like. You should be really entering immediately, right, when you see this one. You should not really, or when you, if it appears, and obviously it has appeared here, you should give it some time in the next signal until it goes down a little bit, as close as possible to the moving averages, which is the support. Maybe you can enter here and put your stop loss, which will be a little bit lower than this one also. Then you can actually, this you can easily make profit out of it if you enter here 10 cents lower than this entry, 5 cents, say. Yes, say 5 cents less than that. Okay, next, OPHC. No, that's dead actually. Next, APM, very late. Even the signal is very late. Maybe you will be trapped if you wait for it, 1 candle, 2 candles, then you decided to enter, then you will be losing anyways, but not this entry. This is not a correct entry. Okay, next, TAIT. TAIT has been doing great movement, by the way, and it made it in 1 candle, and it has continued, and I think it made a high. Yes, it made a new high, and there are good news about it. And it was, I saw it, it was only, the float is only 2 million, so that's going to be crazy. That might see 7, and there is dividend in that, and there are and it's a semiconductor, and there is big news in the US about empowering the semiconductors, the local ones, rather than being under the Chinese semiconductors. And there is something we're going to hear about TAIT and the whole sector. Okay, next, SACH. No, that's clear that it is not going to make it. It's a dead one. It should not be really considered. So this is a no-go trade. This should not be considered in our trading. Last but not least, SONN. And SONN, of course, I will leave the floor to you to elaborate why we should not enter this one at this place. With that, I conclude my update for this day. Okay, let's move to the update of the 23rd, which is yesterday. We have 10 trades and all has lost. Let us go through all these and see whether really we should enter all these or not, and go back again like what we did in the first half of this recap. Let's go back again and see the signals, what had happened during the trading. So let's do it. Here are our signals. First one is CTIB. Let's see whether our entry was correct or not. It's obvious how it started at the top and then it went down. So it gave you the signal here, and it was the signal was at acceptable entry. No problem was with that. So it was supposed to be a profitable one if you just decided to leave, cents away from your target, your 7%, but unfortunately it has started, then it immediately went down, so that's a losing trade, no doubt about that. Next is BBIG. And BBIG is not supposed to be an entry, so this is not supposed to be considered really. Next is SNSS, and that's not supposed to be an entry again. Next, BLRX, that's a late entry in a reddish day. The whole day was red, really deeply red, so I don't think that this was a good signal to enter here at this candle after all these were lost. And if you look at BLYC, you will see that the signal came at what? The signal came BLRX. See, the signal even was not considered. It was just one signal only, and that's it. I'm not seeing it even, not able to spot it here. Not seeing it. Yeah, 931. Yeah, it's only one, and you are, could be an opportunity, but if you look at the chart, could be a window here, like, you know, even that window is not that big, 16 cents or 10 cents plus, but there is no signal confirming that. You've got one signal and it disappeared, so it's not to be really considered. And even aside from that, your signal here is not really here. It is not really a good signal to enter. Remember, when we want to enter, you should be close to these, and these are, you should be above these and close to them. What are these? There are two moving averages and the volume weighted moving average as well. So you need to be close so you don't lose the opportunity. And you need to watch out for the signals and see how severe, how intense is the signal. Okay. Next is VIRC, and VIRC was almost doing it and reaching the 7%, but unfortunately it did not do it. It did not record a win. So you have really two trades that made almost 6%, really 12% here out of 1, 2, 3, 9, so 12 out of 9 in such a very bearish market. I think you will be more conservative than even making this 6%. You will just maybe take 5% and just leave. So in two trades you made 7% in each. I think this is really doable. As you can see, it made it almost, it hit the 7%, but it did not record, it did not capture a win here. Okay, moving to RETO. RETO was our hero yesterday actually, but today there was some pretty good momentum and movement, especially in the pre-markets. But when you enter here again, you will not make the 7%. You will make easily 4%. Then it went down and it hit the stop loss. But that's a confirmed entry, although it's a very early one. You might enter here, you might just wait for the next candle. But in speaking about 7%, it did not achieve it, unlike the other two. Unlike the other two stocks that made it. Okay, moving to DLNG, I wouldn't be really interested in going into this red market, low volume, and look into the signals. Here when we talked about RETO, see the signals, there is a motivation for you really to enter. But when you see that you are reaching to this 2.8, 3.66, you will be really motivated to continue. But it did not make the 7% here. For DLNG, look at the signals. What had happened is only one signal, and it disappeared, and it was only 4 cents away from your target, so you will not really enter. Plus, there is no momentum, there is no continuation, such as the next one, which is in SNSS. So you will not really be motivated to or attracted to jump into this one. SNSS was giving signals. SNCE, SNSS, I'm not seeing it here. No, we saw it and it was losing, but as we mentioned earlier, we mentioned that SNSS, when it appeared early in the signal, it was here, and it was not supposed to be a good entry, but later on in the day, it gave at 10:25, it gave you a real good signal, a confirming signal that it will continue. From here, maybe with the SNSS, you will lose a 3% at 9:30, but again, you will get more than 7% here. If you go to your profit target, 4.66, and you are entering at 4.11, that's a sweet $0.50 in your pocket, and I think that's an excellent movement. You can see it. Excellent entry, could be early a little bit. As usual, if you enter at this area, you will always keep your stop loss 3% or a little bit lower than the moving averages. So if your 3% is here, maybe you need to shift it for couple of cents additional, couple of cents additional to be lower than the moving average, and you'll be at this area. You don't need to go the two moving averages, the volume weighted moving average, or the weighted volume moving average, and this moving average, then you go also this one. No, two will be enough for you to test and see where it is going. So that's a successful one. Now, SNES at 12.14, SNES was giving also good signals. It's actually confusing, SNSS and SNES, but it gave you a signal, and then you will need really to wait for the confirmation of breaking the 214, the resistance, and see where it will open for you the next resistance. The next resistance was again only 10 cents away from this resistance. You will think twice. You will think twice really before you enter here. So I don't think that you will be really interested to jump in here in a very red market, bearish one, and one signal during the lunchtime coming to you. I don't think that it will be really good motivation. But technically, the signal is correct. There is momentum. If you want to try for your luck, the two barriers ahead of you are the market condition and the tight window here. Really, you don't have enough window to expect a jump, but you have good signals actually. So the signals might be a motivation and a foolish factor here, a factor that will fool you to really and will make you really jump in. Okay, now moving to ADIL. ADIL was doing great movement, but unfortunately from the signal it was too late. So maybe you'll decide in such a quiet market to wait for it until it breaks the 3 and see what's the next window. So after breaking the 3, you've got only 10 cents, so that's not a good motivation. Add to it the fact that you were already there. You were already there. So I think that you have enough resistance ahead of you. So it's not a good decision to go with it. Moving to BYFC. BYFC is semo. It has done great movement, but you've got a resistance of $0.50, red market at that time, and only 10 cents. And if you wait for the 2.52 to be broken, see what happens usually. What happens is immediately when it touches the resistance, it gives you one more signal and then it disappears. It gives you a signal. Then you can tell really whether you should really enter into this trade or no by just waiting for a couple of more signals, similar to these. You see, when it touches the resistance, then it goes by 1 cent above that, and then it gets silent. It becomes silent, and then it doesn't move on. So that's an indication or a confirmation that it did not fully and confidently break the resistance, the previous one, and it did not continue its way to the next resistance. Okay, with that I conclude my 2 days update recap, and again let's celebrate the Reds. There is no harm of losing 1 day after a streak of 14 or more days. The most important thing is to know whether really you should enter or you should not, and if you enter, where to really leave the trade without severe losses. And with that we will conclude the 2 updates, the update of the 2 days. Wish you all the best. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you like what you saw, please support continuously as usual by hitting that like button, subscribe, and catch you on the live trading today. See you and bye bye for now.